Yes, sir. We live, man. I wasn't even ready to go live, but we live. So, what up, y'all? It's ZayTheGrayDemon, and today we talking about learning from mistakes and reflecting on this tools for your journey segment. My camera look like it need to be clean. Yeah, but yeah, we talking about learning from your mistakes and reflecting. Yes, sir. So. The reason I say learning from your mistakes, and everybody's like, yeah, man, of course you're supposed to learn from your mistakes, but learning from your mistakes, right or wrong. Like sometimes, and I've learned this with myself, sometimes you got to learn how to accept the fact that you're wrong. And when you're wrong, learning from being wrong and admitting that you're wrong, being accountable for your wrong, and then being able to move on past that and learn from it. And the same way bad things happen to you and you learn from them, when good things happen to you, you can learn from them too. And I say that because sometimes when I'm in a rut, I like to look at when things were going good for me and where my mind was at and where and how I was, conducting myself, what kind of thoughts was I having, and that helps me to move myself back into when I'm doing good. And it's important to journal, because if you journal, you can see where your head was at a certain time. So if you're ever going through times where things are going good, you should journal and just see where your head is at. You should write your thoughts down. And also when things are going, or you're going through a rough period of time, you want to see where your thoughts are, and then you want to see the transition in between you moving from when you're going through a rough time into a good time, because you can see the changes you had to make in your head. So that's all a part of reflecting and learning from your mistakes. So yeah, I'm gonna have, hopefully some people jump in here and we can talk about that a little further. But yeah, it's super super important, man, to to reflect on yourself. And one way I like to do it is, shoot, I do this all the time. At the end of every day, I just like to go over my day in my head and see what I could have did better. Um, things that I could have handled better. Like, dang, could I have said something better? I got to do this better next time. Could I have handled that situation better? Was I too aggressive? Was I being impatient? Just sorting through all the things in your day that have an effect on you, especially if you're trying to improve. If you're trying to improve yourself as just an overall person, those are kind of things you want to look at. Like, man, how could I have handled that better? Just almost like how athletes, bro, they play they play game film back. I got to get my microphone off my webcam. I don't like it on my webcam. Okay. But yeah, so you just when it comes to reflecting, you just want to look back on your day, about how you could have handled things better, look back on your week, month, everything, situations, bro. That's the most thing that I learned the most from my relationships with people, cuz that a lot of times relationships, bro, holds up a mirror to you, and it forces you to face those sides of yourself that you don't want to face, those dark sides of you that you kind of avoid working on, because you really only need to work on them when you're dealing with people, or things that just kind of slip past your awareness because you're not involving yourself with people. But when you're involving yourself with people, that's when they tend to come out. There's like I've had periods of isolation and thought that I was like, oh, like I'm way better. And while I did make improvements, you have to get around people to see where you're at too, because there's more parts of yourself that you got to work on. But when you're by yourself, you'll find that you'll work on a lot of things that need to be worked on, but they won't really be put to the test until you're around people, till you're in relationships, till you're dealing with different friend groups. And Yeah, like that's where I get the most learning from, man. Like honestly, like especially relationships with women, bro. They're gonna show you everything you need to know about yourself, bro. Because just the mind, the way you are as a man, bro. Like all of your negativities are gonna, all of your insecurities, they're gonna manifest in a certain way based on the relationship. Any negative things that you have inside of you, any traumas that you have inside of you, they're gonna force them out. A relationship always forces out the worst parts of you. It forces you to look yourself in the mirror, which is really crazy. Like you're gonna see, like, dang, like maybe I have issues with trusting people. Maybe I have issues with uh with attachment. Maybe I have issues with abandonment. Maybe I have issues, just all kinds of different things that are manifested through another person showing you, because it's just it's another part of you, really. Y'all join together, and then you're going to show each other what it is. So when it comes to learning from your mistakes, man, you just got to be accountable. So that's a big thing too. Reflecting, accountability. You got to be accountable when you're wrong. You got to see and not only just see that you were wrong, but understand why you exhibited those behaviors. Just dig and say, okay, well, why did I do that? Why was I behaving like that? And try to get to the root of what it is that is causing you to behave the way you're behaving, so you can learn from it. And there's nothing wrong with detaching yourself from being around people, giving yourself some time to really heal, I guess you could say, and really unpack all the stuff that you need to unpack until you're ready to jump back out there and be around people. Because that's the thing, sometimes if you just stay around people, you'll never get to figure out what it is that you need to figure out. And that gets dangerous, man. That gets dangerous because you're constantly going to hurt people. You're constantly going to push people away if you don't get the proper help that you need. Or and really, you, as especially as a man, bro, I mean, we have all these tools available, YouTube, books, everything. So you can get out here and just find some. If you can't find friends, man, get on YouTube and find groups. That's what this is for. If you're subscribed, if you're not subscribed, and you just so happen to see this video, subscribe to this channel, man. Because as this community grows, we're able to hold each other accountable. We're able to have conversations. But you do need to have, or try to make friends, or find some people that you can trust, that you can really go into deep conversation with and really be vulnerable with. Like, I got certain friends that I can really like, because we think on the same level, and we're just where our heads are at dealing with life, like the way we deal with things. We can have certain conversations where we can be very vulnerable and be like, okay, this is why I did this, and not feel ashamed about it. Because if you want to get to the root, bro, you got to get your ego out the way. And that's where important conversations happen at, man. Like getting your ego out the way, and then getting to the root of what it is that's causing you to behave the way that you behave. So that's all for this one. I like to do my lives in threes, keep them short, keep them below 10 minutes, man. But y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate you. I'm about to end this live and start a new one with a new topic. All right, y'all, I appreciate it.